Why am I doing this? Because I'm fed up. Fed up with seeing industries around the globe throw away billions of dollars every year because of sheer ignorance, outright stubbornness, and a refusal to accept simple proven facts about vibration diagnostics. Let me be blunt, most plants don't have a clue how to implement vibration diagnostics properly, and the results are disastrous. Why? Because management keeps getting it wrong, time after time, wasting piles of money through bad decisions, inadequate training, and a cluster foul-up in how diagnostics teams should be organized and equipped. They put pressure on diagnostic teams, fail to hire correctly qualified people, and then act shocked when it all goes wrong. But above all, the biggest cluster foul-up is that nobody clearly communicates the results of vibration diagnostics in a way that everyone, from technicians to executives, can actually understand. So, time to wake up. In this series, I'm not just a skeptic, I am an angry skeptic, and I am here to expose exactly where industry screws this up, and tell you bluntly how to fix it. Let's start by getting a grip on some basic ideas and terms you'll need to know about vibration diagnostics. Let's get one thing absolutely clear right from the start: vibration diagnostics is not a prediction tool. No matter how slick the sales pitch or how fancy the marketing brochure, nobody, and I mean nobody, can look at vibration data and magically predict precisely when a machine is going to fail. And while we're at it, can we please stop using ridiculous phrases like machinery health? It doesn't mean a damn thing. It's just empty jargon management uses to feel clever while ignoring reality. Machines don't get healthy. Machines are either working, failing, or somewhere in between, usually somewhere in between. Here's brutal truth managers conveniently overlook: just because a machine is running within your so-called optimal limits does not mean it's fault-free. In fact, at least 90% of your machines right now likely have some kind of fault brewing. The job of vibration diagnostics is not to sit around predicting magical dates of failure or painting a rosy picture of perfect health. The job is to find faults, categorize how serious those faults are, and pinpoint exactly who messed up, because, trust me, behind almost every fault there's someone who didn't do their job properly. The real role of a diagnostic team is simple: identify these faults, determine the root cause of their recurrence, and compel maintenance and operations departments to address their own subpar standards and practices. Your job is to expose weaknesses, reduce the number of faults, and ultimately save your company from hemorrhaging cash through ignorance and incompetence. So, let's cut the feel-good nonsense and get real. Next, we'll dive into exactly how vibration diagnostics should be done, and why most places still manage to get it spectacularly wrong. Let me give you a real-world example of just how ridiculous and expensive this kind of ignorance can get. I was called out to train a vibration diagnostics team at a major US oil company. They had me come specifically to teach bearing analysis on big air compressors, because twice a year these bearings were failing catastrophically, costing them $300,000 every single time to ship the broken compressors all the way to Germany for repair. On my first day, their chief engineer immediately dragged me over to one particularly noisy, obviously vibrating compressor. He demanded I show him exactly where the bearing damage was. Now, here's the kicker: I had brought a spectral analyzer, something they didn't even have at their site. I took readings, analyzed the data, and guess what? No bearing damage at all. The data clearly showed a textbook misalignment, 1 peak at running speed and 3 harmonics. It couldn't have been more obvious if it had hit him in the face. But what did this genius do when confronted with the facts? He threw a tantrum. He shouted that misalignment was impossible because, and I quote, "the motor and compressor were attached by a register fit using dowels." He then stormed off like a spoiled child, refusing to listen. So, what did I do next? Something this chief engineer should have done years ago. I had the technicians open the coupling covers. And guess what we found? The rubber coupling blocks were missing entirely. Gone. Completely absent. The techs replaced those missing blocks and restarted the compressor. It ran perfectly smoothly, quietly, like it should have from the start. Think about this for a second. This guy, this supposedly experienced chief engineer, had been losing his company $600,000 a year because he wouldn't listen to his own technicians. They knew exactly what was wrong. They tried telling him, but he was too stubborn, too arrogant, and too wrapped up in his own misguided beliefs to listen. That's not just incompetence, that's criminal negligence. This is the kind of stupidity we're up against, and it's why I'm not just skeptical, I'm angry. And you should be too. A few weeks later, I came back to the site, and guess what? They'd finally bought some spectrum analyzers. About time. Even better? The chief engineer was gone. Replaced. Someone had finally pulled the plug on that walking disaster. The new guy? He sat in on my training sessions from start to finish. And unlike his predecessor, he actually listened. Took notes. Asked smart questions. You could tell he actually wanted to understand what vibration diagnostics was all about instead of pretending he already knew everything. That right, there is the difference between a company that's bleeding money and one that's fixing problems. All it took was the right tools, a bit of common sense, and someone in charge who wasn't too arrogant to learn. In the next video, we're going deeper into what vibration diagnostics of rotating machinery is really all about, and what a functional diagnostic setup should actually look like. Spoiler, most places don't even come close. We will also have a word with a production manager and put him right on some important issues. If you enjoyed this video, but didn't get the point, please like and subscribe. You might understand the next one better. If you hated it, then you should subscribe anyway, because there are more coming to hate. If you don't like watching avatars, I really don't care.